slides. Okay, yeah. Because I'm not able to see this. After you put only, then I will be able to know. Yes, if it is at this distance, very good.
Like this?
Yeah.
You have to pull it up a little bit to be able. You can get a taller one.
Yeah, it's fine now. I don't need a taller one. Okay, yeah. I will go from that side. Om Bhadram Karnaibhiः Shrunuyam Devaः Bhadram Pashyemakshabhiryajatraः Sthirairangaistuštuvagam sastanubhihi Vyashema devahitam yadayuhu Swasti na indro vriddhashrava Swasti na pusha vishvaveda Swasti nastarksho arishtanemi Swasti no brihaspatirdadhatu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us now pray together. Are you all able to read this? We offer our salutations to the all-loving being who endows all beings with consciousness. We meditate on the Lord, who is the origin of the universe. Lord, Thou abidest in all. Thou art all. Thou assumest all forms. Thou art the origin and goal of all. Thou art the self of all. Thou art existence, knowledge and bliss. Salutations unto Thee. May the world be peaceful. May the wicked become gentle. May all creatures think of mutual welfare. May their minds be occupied with what is spiritual and abiding. May our hearts be immersed in selfless love for the Lord. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. Let us meditate on our true self, which is beyond the limitations of body and mind, of space and time. We have to go deep in the corner, the deepest corner of our consciousness. Let us feel that as the constantly burning candle flame. Let us focus attention on that. As we concentrate on that, the light of this candle flame becomes bigger and brighter. I see it has pervaded my entire awareness. I am made of light. Everything is made of that light. Just as all the earthen pots are made of earth. They are all earth in different shapes. So let us feel that our own person and everything around, everything in the whole universe is just this light of self appearing in infinitely many continuously changing forms. The forms, they rise and fall like the waves in the ocean. They are ephemeral, so not real. This light, this self alone is real. To experience this is the goal of life. Because there is in that experience the infinite existence, knowledge, and ultimate bliss and ultimate peace. peace, peace. Today's topic is some great questions in Upanishads. And these questions, as I have mentioned here in this slide, they are not out of idle curiosity. Many questions we ask out of idle curiosity, which doesn't have really any bearing on either our life or on the surrounding or anything that connects to us. It is the idle curiosity that we ask this question, like, where do you live? Well, wherever that person is living, whether the person is living on earth or moon, that also really doesn't concern us much. But out of idle curiosity, we ask these questions. It is nor out of the desire to show off one's scholarship. Many times questions are asked to show how learned I am. Somebody is speaker, then speaking on Upanishads, somebody asked a question. What was Nachiketa's maternal uncle's name? Now, well, that in some book somewhere it might be coming, but has it any bearing on this? But that person wants to show that I have read some book, some obscure text in which there is an information about it, and so wants to see whether that speaker has also read that book or not. So many times the questions asked are out of the desire to show off one's scholarship. Many times you hear such questions being raised. The idea is not to learn from it, but to show how learned I am. So that is one type of question. Sometimes they are asked to test the teacher, whether the teacher knows or not. Like one story goes, our Sarvagatananda used to tell this story, that one little child told the parents, our teachers don't know anything. They don't know anything. They ask us, So it is that kind of, idea that to test. Now those teachers are asking the question to the students to test if they have understood or not. So in Upanishads, you do not find the questions asked in this light or in this way. There is how the Upanishads, the questions are, they are spontaneous expressions of the utmost sincere, pinchingly urgent and profoundly heartfelt need to realize the truth. It is a spontaneous expressions. They want something very badly. Their life, as it were, hangs on that. It is with that understanding they are approaching the teacher. Please illuminate me. It is, for example, although we are not taking up that question today, but just to illustrate this point, that there is a question in Chandogya Upanishad, that it is a teacher, Sanat Kumar, is a great character in Vedantic literature, in Puranas and all. You will find Sanat Kumar. So Sanat Kumar was approached by a highly learned man, tremendously learned. He also is a well-known figure in Vedanta and especially what is called the Puranic literature. In Puranas you find those questions again and again, that Narada, that figure comes again and again. He is the questioner there, and he asked the question that please teach me. Narada is asking this Sanat Kumar, please teach me. Sanat Kumar is aware that Narada is a highly learned person. So he asks a counter question. Please tell me what you already know so that I can start after that, So it is, and Narada narrates all these different branches of knowledge. That was not sound of Narada, It is, yeah. So, but he asks this question, answers this question of Sanat Kumar, that I have studied all the Vedas thoroughly. I have studied all the associated books. I have studied all the sciences like physics, chemistry, mathematics, biology, astronomy, everything. I have studied it at great depth. I have also studied the arts of music, the visual arts like painting and all that, sculpting, painting. I have studied all of them to the maximum depth that one can go in those. I have also studied the engineering like architectures, metallurgy, and so forth. All that structural engineering, I have studied that also completely. I have studied all other branches also, like some performing magic and miracles. Those also I have studied completely. Then what remains? He says, I do not know this self. And because of that, I am not finding any peace. I am burning inside. And I have come with great hope to you that within this knowledge of the self, one realizes the ultimate peace, one becomes calm. It is, and with that great hope, that urgent something, that I have come to you because I know, I have heard, by realizing the self, one attains peace. I am not the knower of self. I am, he uses beautiful Sanskrit words, that I am only mantra vidosme, natu atmavid. What it means is, I know only the words. In many Upanishads, this, our worldly knowledge is classified as just words. And then I do not know this self. So therefore I have approached you. And he is saying, as it were, that is what he wants. After studying everything that is possible to study, now his life hangs with this thread. I want to realize this self. So these questions are again, as Sri Ramakrishna used to tell that story, a teacher was asked by the student that when I shall realize God, the teacher said, follow me, let us take a bath in the river near, and then we will see. And then he told the student, okay, jump in this river, and then followed himself there and held the head of the student under the water for a long minute or two, and then released it and asked the student, "Hey, how were you feeling?" I was gasping for breath. So when you will feel like that for God, then you will realize, do we really want that? We do not get these questions of Upanishads spontaneously. While studying, we wonder, oh, what a great question it is. But after shutting off the book or going away from this lecture hall, then we have other more important questions of life that, oh, I have to call that friend, we are going to set up a meeting, or I have to go and watch that movie, and so forth. They become, and I have to cook, what will be I cook for the dinner today, and so forth. They become more important questions. This question is considered like idle curiosity, may be important, may not be important, or we classify, it was important for those sages, not for likes of us. It is like it is putting the cart before the horses. It is not that it is important for sages. For those, these questions were important. They, by discovering the answer, they become sages. Not that they are born sages and then they ask the questions. It is not like that. It is not that it is like we say, it is for the cats to say, oh, meow, meow, for the dogs to do oof, oof. It is so some sages fall down and they ask such questions. No, every human being can ask these questions and can become a sage. So anyway, so this is how these questions are an expression of urgent and profoundly heartfelt need to realize the truth. And you will find two varieties in that. There is a variety, means two types are there. One is about the nature of the truth, and second is the practical, how to experience it. It is two of them are presented. One is to understand, to know. It is more, that emphasis is more on intellect. Let me understand. But then, more important, how shall I experience this? How it will practically appear in my life. So, you will see these two, sometimes the two are combined in one. So we shall take up a few of these great questions. One appears in this Kena Upanishad. The etymology of this word Kena means by whom. By whom? Who is using all the organs and mind? We see that the hands are picking things up, the eyes are seeing, the legs, they are walking, ears are hearing. All these are machines. Mind is thinking. It begins, the question begins actually with mind. Kene shitam patati preshitam manaha. Who is using this instrument called mind? And then all other instruments that are connected to mind. Who is the user? See, it is a very deep question. Try to feel the depth of it, friends. Who is the user? This is not that game, knock, knock, who, not that. It is, who is the user of all this machine? body and mind is machine. It is not something that has its own separate awareness as such. There is a user to that. And who is that user? Means who am I who is using all these instruments? Look at this. What a profound question it is, that who is using all this body and mind. Feel this question, friends. I will take 10 seconds for you to feel this question. Close your eyes and try to feel this question. Who? So this is something very profound. Who? And it is very important for us to get the answer for this question. Although most of the common people do not pay much attention to that who is that being and how it is connected to all these. Like you have a computer and you know that you are not the computer. You are user of the computer, the hardware as well as software. You are using it for your purpose. So who is the one who is using this body, mind, machine, and for what purpose? A very beautiful question. So the answer that the sage has given is a twofold answer. As I mentioned here, a separate question is not asked till the end of the Upanishad. That it is a very small, comparatively speaking, small Upanishad, but tremendously significant. So it is the teacher says, well, you know, it is you are asking that who is, that is the mind of the mind, that is the eye of the eye, that is the ear of the ear. And then the student, as you can imagine, must be looking incredulous. I don't get it at all. What do you mean that it is the eye of the eye and the ear of the ear and the mind of the mind? What is it? The teacher can see the perplexions on the face of the student and says, but I do not know any other way of answering this question. Our teachers also didn't know any other way of answering this question. Because what you are asking is beyond mind, beyond all the sensory organs. It is something that you can therefore see only by going beyond. And then it is not something really separate from it. It is pervaded in and through all of that. That user that you are asking about is pervaded in each of these. So your ear, your mind, your eyes, whatever you are thinking of, they do not have any independent existence. So it is not that like you have an axe and somebody is cutting a tree with that axe. So there is the axe. Separate from this is the cutter, the one who is holding the axe. Teacher says there is no separate something there. It is pervaded in it. Let us try to feel this. So he further tries to illuminate that it is in everything. It is the concluding answer for this at the level of understanding is that it is like pratibodh viditam matam amrutatvam hi vindate. That it is pratibodh viditam matam means in every vibration of consciousness that is pulsating. Like the screen is appearing in every picture that you see in a movie. Is it not? The screen is there inside. If you ask where the screen is, it is not easy to tell while the movie is going on, because wherever you may point, there is some picture or the other, and one may mistake that that picture is the screen. No, it is transcendent to the picture and yet immanent in the picture. These words sound philosophical, but see what it means is that it is transcendent, means whatever is happening in the movie is not touching the screen at all, is not affecting the screen at all. But the pictures, do they have any separate existence? Absolutely not. So that is the idea, that it is in every single expression of consciousness that is there. That what you are asking, it is the self that is vibrating in each and every pulsation of one's consciousness. So it is obviously, so you have to, just as you have to think beyond the pictures when you want to see the screen, know the screen. So we have to transcend this funny, completely erroneous idea that I am this body. It is a very illogical, irrational, false idea that I am body. It is, you have to therefore go beyond. If we are stuck in this erroneous awareness, then of course the truth is far away from us, because for the simple reason that we do not want to come out of the error. So this one has to make this conscientious and a robust attempt to go beyond this body awareness. So this is one aspect that is indicated there, and then indicated that this is the practice. The practice tells you that it is how, whenever you are seeing something, learn to abstract the form. Then you will be able to get some idea of the screen. Now you can see that the forms change. In a movie, things are moving. That is why the name movie comes. They are changing all the time. And so, similarly you see here, things are all shifting and changing. So they are not real. And thus you will get an idea, and that what is actually real there is this self. This is the practice. This is matter of practice. But then one finds it a bit difficult to just keep on doing it directly. So there are means suggested in the later part of this Upanishad, that okay, yatha vidyutada, it is like yatha nimishida, it is like the eye lid closes and opens, eyelids, you close it and open it. The world is gone, you open, the world is there again. So what it tells is it depends on your organ. The existence of the world is not there without these organs. As they show you you think that it is real. So it comes, it goes. The evanescence, ephemeral nature of this names and forms is indicated by this. So think of that, or think of the lightning in the sky. You see the illumination. By the time you say, hey, there is that lightning, it is gone. So similarly, it appears, it disappears. Think of that. Then again, we need some more concrete symbols. It is told to the student, therefore, okay, I'll give you some symbols to think of. So think of that as vanam, means that which is adorable and should be worshipped. Think of that as the very demanding your reverence and your worship. Think of that as the most desirable thing in this world. So that is, you can meditate like that. And then it is interesting, the student asks another question. Please tell me the Upanishad. Upanishad is at the end now. And after hearing this, student asks, please tell me the Upanishad. Isn't it funny what the teacher was telling so far? And we have a saying in our language, that after the preacher reads the whole of Ramayana, and then the student asks, very nice, thank you, but I didn't get who was Sita, how Sita was related to Rama. Now what to speak? So it appears like this question, but it's not. The student is very intelligent, bright student. So what the student here means is, tell me something more concrete to do. And then it is told that tapa, satya, it is you practice certain disciplines in your life by which your frittering energies and frittering consciousness will get controlled. It will then find the right concentration by which the mind can get the desirable power. All our energies of mind, they get frittered away. And so very little is left really. So one must realize this, and that is called tapas. It is purification of our awareness. It is sullied and become impure by infinitely many rising and falling and continuously changing desires. So therefore it is losing all power. Now therefore shut them and have this one desire alone. And then it will be a concentrated focus. So that is a practice one has to do. Then it is told, hold on to the truth, speak the truth. That is a discipline that one has to follow. So all these are told that this is how you will actually mold your life, so that now in that life the flash of this truth would come. So this is how in the Kathopanishad you find this question taken up and answered. Then there is this great famous Upanishad that is what we already took up. Please tell me how to experience this. Then, it came just closing prayer. Where are the other slides? It came to closing prayers. Oh. Okay, so it didn't. There are 4 more slides actually there. Oh, okay. There is a slide on Kathopanishad, and there is a slide on this Chandogya Upanishad. Oh, yeah. So, okay, Kathopanishad. Hmm. Yeah, now you got it. It is one of the most famous Upanishads because of its story. There is a very nice story with which it begins, and also the language is somewhat modern, presentation is modern. So, many like this Upanishad tremendously. Swami Vivekananda was very much into this Upanishad. He liked it a lot and used to tell everybody that, well, you should memorize this Upanishad. So, this Upanishad begins, with many other things, but comes to this question that Nachiketa wants to get the answer to this question: what remains when things die? Like, say, human beings, all animals, all creatures, even what we say things, and they have their birth, growth, and then they die. They go into oblivion. But something remains. What is that something? And he asked this question to the great teacher, the god of death. Because god of death can answer this question, because everything goes into death. So what remains, you tell me, god of death? And god of death, Yama, he tested Nachiketa, that is he one of those just curiosity mongerer, or asking the question for not any particular earnest desire to know the answer. So he tests him by showing all sorts of temptations. If you don't hold me for this question, for answer to this question, I will give you infinite life. I will give you all the pleasures. I will fill this whole earth with all the objects of enjoyment, and will be given to you without any competition for you. You will always have the energy and youth to enjoy it. Do you want it? But you have to give up the answer to this question. Nachiketa says, no, nothing doing. It is what these objects that you are showing me, it is they come and they go. Like the objects in the dream. They come and go. I am not falling for these temptations. Okay, I will give you all the heavenly things to enjoy. Nachiketa says the same thing. I don't want any of these because it just, there is no joy in it. And we spend our own energies, our own vitality, and then call it enjoyment. I don't want any of these things. I want answer to my question. Otherwise, I don't want anything. That was his determination. And seeing that thus he is the really earnest student, the knowledge was given, and on both planes, that there is the understanding that which pervades everything, that is which is in and through everything, that neither is born nor die. Imagine, and we think that we are born on such and such date. It is. I told my doctor's office, when they asked, what's your date of birth? Just for identification they asked. I told some date, and January so and so. What year? And I said, every year it is same. No, no, but what here actually, now that person who was at the other end was not even able to properly phrase the question. But I said, no, I was just joking. That is the day I was born. Was I born? This body was born. I was there all the time. And body keeps on changing. I do not change. Just see, when I am a baby, from the baby I become a child, the babyhood is dead. Do I die? I don't die. Then you become a youth. My childhood has died. Do I die? I don't die. Similarly, as I become old, my youth, my childhood died. Do I die? No, I don't die. Similarly, when this old age also is gone, the body is gone, I do not die. I do not get born. I do not die. And so, I do not want to, elaborate more. You are all very intelligent people, so you can see that that is, therefore, in everyone the same self. The bodies differ, that's all. It is not that there is one I here and another I in that Richard sitting there. Although he is more brilliant, but that is again the point of mind, not really I. I is the same in all. He has put on a very bright red shirt, so he has also put on a particular skin appearance. That's it, that is the body. It comes and goes. Just as that shirt is not Richard, the skin is also not Richard. All these other parts of the body are not Richard. And then there is nothing to distinguish between he and me. We are one and the same. That is the self. Then Nachiketa asks, well, how do I realize that? Oh, again the same thing is coming. Okay. So, no, there was this Kathopanishad question. Oh, it went up there. Okay. So it is, sorry about this. They are not coming in order that I had sent. So anyway, how do I practice it? So he asked another question to this god of death. Well, please tell me that what you experience, how that experience you can transmit to me. I understood what you are telling, but that understanding has to be converted into experience, and that is called yoga. In Kathopanishad, you will see in many Upanishads and of course in Bhagavad Gita, this yoga idea. Yoga, it does not mean physical postures and all that here. It is the transformation of life so that we can experience what is understood. Understanding is there, but the experience, it has to get converted into experience, and it requires practice. Intense, methodical, regular, relentless practice going on for a long time. It is, so he asked, how can I experience what you experience? Yat tat pashyasi tad vada. And he tells him, okay, you have to learn this, that he gave him a mantra. Mantra is very important in this whole practice because the mantra gives you something to hold on to, and it grows. It is just as it provides, like that is example given in the Kathopanishad also, that it goes higher just as you are climbing a staircase. You go higher, the staircase also is moving. The steps are also higher steps. You go to the next step, the step is also next, you also go high. So it is like that. So as you practice, the different levels of that mantra come to you. So that is how it grows in you like a seed. You plant and then gradually it can become a gigantic tree. Depends, of course, whether you are properly nurturing it or not, properly protecting it and nurturing it or not. Otherwise, you may have mantra, nothing would happen. There is a tree that is potentially there in seed, but you take the seed, mantra, keep it in your pocket, forget about it, that's all. Nothing will happen then. But if you plant it and nurture it, that has the potential to become a gigantic tree. So this is what is the mantra. So with this, what happens? He tells further that how it will unfold in you, and he tells the practice in the same vein that look, you have to, close your mind to all the external distractions. Paranchi khani vyatrunat swayambhu tasmat parang pashyati nantaratman. And he tells the limitations of our mind and sense organs, that they are extrovert and they cannot see the truth of anything. They only show you shapes and names and so forth. Nothing really that is tangible. So therefore you have to awaken the faculty of intuition, whereby this truth will flash in you. Gradually it will pervade your whole life. So this is how the Nachiketa understood, realized the truth. A great statement comes there that it is not just for Nachiketa. Whosoever does it, it is a science. A science means, say, for example, there are laws of science, a law of, say, gravity. You let something fall, and then it is not only that the apple that Newton saw alone fell on the ground. Every apple, wherever it will fall on the ground, not only apple, whatever other thing, it will fall on the ground. Everything, that is, you can experience the law of gravity. Even if you jump from a 40-story building, don't do that, but it is, you will also fall down. So it is a law, everywhere true. So it is told at the end of this Upanishad that whosoever understands and implements this also gets that same experience that Nachiketa got, whereby he went beyond death. He became fully happy and perfectly pure, reached the goal of life. So this is this great question. Now we will come to a Chandogya Upanishad story. Is it there? Story of Chandogya Upanishad. So Chandogya Upanishad has many, many stories. Actually, I began this talk by telling one of them, the discussion between Sanat Kumar and Narada. But this is another story which is of practical importance, that those two types of students came to the great teacher Prajapati, and that Prajapati was the creator of both these types. One, the morally good, called the Devas, and then the evil-minded, they are called asuras, the demons. So both are created by the same one God. That is a beauty in Hinduism which is somehow not shared by other disciplines, religious disciplines. They have to, for creation of evil, they have to get another thing, Satan. And God created what is good, and there is the Satan who created that which is evil. Means two competing sources of power, as it were. No, God alone is real. Of course, in many actual Christian theologians, they have pointed out that this is not what is meant really. That, for example, Thomas Aquinas says that it is not, Satan is just not having the experience of God, that is Satan. So there is no separate Satan as such, like there is no darkness, it is just absence of light. So similarly, Satan is just the absence of this awareness of God. Anyway, so both came to Prajapati, both had the desires to enjoy this world. And they had heard, by realizing this self, they had heard about this self, our true nature. Atman is the word. Self is nowadays many these students of Vedanta, Eastern and Western, they advocate that we should give up these old ideas of using the words somehow used by the teachers in the last century that use the word self. But let us, they say, use the word Atman itself. Atman. The Atman, when one realizes, all our desires get fulfilled. And we all want our desires fulfilled, isn't it? What, Prithvish? You want your desires to be fulfilled or not? Yeah, everybody says my desires should be fulfilled. All that too, not that only some will get fulfilled. All desires will get fulfilled by knowing the self. So they came to Prajapati with the desire to know the self. Prajapati said, wait, first live here for some time. Some time means how much? 1 hour, 2 hours, a few days? No, 32 years. Live here 32 years. Practicing all these disciplines of this kind of, the life of austerity. And after 32 years, then you may ask me the question. So they really wanted to know, because that is how they will find satisfaction of all our desires. They had understood by experience in the world that here our desires don't get fulfilled. One desire gives rise to 3 more. And it keeps on happening. So there is no way of fulfilling desires except by knowing the self. So they came therefore to Prajapati, and the Prajapati, when he told that first stay for 32 years, they agreed. Of course, you have to do something, practice something to get it. So they were very patient and wanted to relentlessly pursue this. So after 32 years, Prajapati told, okay, now I will tell you what's the self. And he gave a cryptic answer that, okay, look into this lake. I'm making it short and move fast forward. And then they saw that their bodies reflected, and then thought that the body, Prajapati means that the body is the self. And so they thought they got the answer. started after 32 long years. They wanted to go back to their clansmen and then spread this word, hey, we found the answer. But the demon chief Virochan, he went. He didn't look back. He thought, yes, the body is the self, and proclaimed his doctrine. So the Upanishad says that those who think that they are bodies, they are the progeny of this evil one. All evil takes place by identifying this I with body. Got it, Yona? Yeah, otherwise there is no evil possible. Identifying I and the body. Because it is not true. It breeds all other evil tendencies. But this good person, Indra, he started pondering, how can this body be self? The body changes. So how can it be body? The body falls sick. There are, sometimes it is healthy, sometimes not. So this I cannot be body, Atman cannot be body. So he comes back again to Prajapati. Excuse me, how can this body be I? Prajapati said, I didn't tell you that you are body. I just told you, look closely at your reflection. And I also told you, look, if you change the attire, that reflection also changes. So I told you the body is subject to change already. If you mistook my teaching, what can I do? No, please instruct me. Okay, 32 years more. Nothing is for free. And thus it went on and on. It had total four such periods. The last one was 5 years. So it is 101 years whereby this Indra, the good one, through introspection understood that yes, it is the body is not Atman, the mind too is not Atman, the intellect too is not Atman, the ego too is not Atman. We have to transcend all these, and thus we reach the truth, the ultimate reality. So this is the path shown. This is the matter for practice. We have to gradually see that I am not this body, nor am I mind. Anything that changes, I am not that. One has to hold firmly to this practice, and this comes through introspection. So here the practice of introspection has been emphasized. It is very important practice. So with introspection, the layers of ignorance, as it were, start falling off. And we are not used to introspection. We are used to this fellow, that fellow. That fellow is the cause of my suffering. Now that fellow may go, but suffering will not end. It is, this suffering is because of my wrong understanding. So introspect the cause of suffering. My spouse, because of that all the suffering in the world is. If spouse is not there, something else. House will be the cause of suffering. That it is, this will be the cause of suffering, that will be the cause of suffering. Whatever we say mine, that becomes the cause of our suffering. So therefore, one has to introspect and see, is anything really mine? Not mine at all. And thus we gradually come to this great truth. It is then a matter of experience, very different from matter of understanding. Do you get it, Naomi? It is matter of experience that depends on methodical practice as prescribed by teacher, not to be done whimsically. No, I like this, I don't like that. No, not like that. It doesn't depend on what you like, what you need. That is what you have to do. So, as you do it, the layers and layers of ignorance actually start falling off, and then you see the truth. That is how this Indra, he realized the truth. The last some of these sentences of this discussion are, that he is told by this Prajapati, look, Indra, know that this body is subject to change, is going to die. One beautiful spiritual practice that one of my teachers used to tell, that in India, as you know, they put the body on the funeral pyre. It is burnt. Or as you can imagine, if somebody is preferring burial, okay, imagine it already there. Imagine it, because that is where it is going to go. So imagine it, it is already there. And don't worry about body, it is already destined to get there. So it is thus. It is, you have to see that if you hold on to this idea, I am body, he says, Magavan is the name of that Indra, another name. Martyam va idam shariram attam rityuna. It is the food for the death. The body will be eaten by that. And if you are holding on to the body, I am body, there is absolutely no end of suffering, because there are likes and dislikes, and they keep on shifting and changing. You like something till you get it. As soon as you get it, you dislike it. That is how this is. So it becomes a terrible suffering, that likes and dislikes, you get caught in it. It is sharire vavasantam priya priye sprishataha na priya priyayoho apahati asti. There is no getting rid of these likes and dislikes, attractions and repulsions. They keep on following one each every now and then. So you will not get freedom from that. But when you know that you are not the body or the mind, then there is asharire vavasantam priya priye nasprushataha. That knowing this, that you are not body, mind or anything changing, then you do not have the likes and dislikes. All is you. Again, there is the practice hinted for us. Do not go by likes and dislikes. Go by what is right and what is not right. So, when one goes by that, one goes much closer to the ultimate truth. Get rid of likes and dislikes in life. That is very important and very difficult in a way, because we are so attached to likes and dislikes. That is a very common expression I find, that okay, you can do like this, I don't like it, or no, I like it. So then what, being caught in like and dislike, you do not realize the truth. You should like this statement, I suppose. It is. So we saw a few such questions. It is a great matter of meditation, a joyous meditation, to think of these questions. And if the questions, they are asked with earnestness, the answers follow. Otherwise not. So I conclude this topic. Please think of it for a minute or so, and then in case if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask. Thank you. Any questions? No questions here. Is there any question there up on the web?
So we have one question from Absolute.
Absolute, okay. Yes, tell him that you will get only relative answer, even if your absolute is asking still, okay. But it will be relative to absolute, okay.
Yes. So, how is consciousness everything if it's not a thing? And how to realize it like we experience, or like we can have experience in ourselves, but how to realize that in objects perceived?
Well, actually it is more difficult to experience it in ourselves. In objects, because our awareness runs to the objects, know that the object is just a shadow-like thing, comes and goes. The awareness, the consciousness just remains there. It is like the screen that is there behind all the objects. So, behind everything that we see, try to feel. This is matter of feeling, matter of training our feeling. Let us train ourselves. It is, I am sorry I cannot just answer this question in a, academic way, because in academics when they study Upanishads, they do not really speaking. It is a sorry state that they pose that they understand, they have studied, but they don't get to this point at all of experiencing, transcending. That's so one has to make this practice. Whatever we see, abstract the name and form and see the truth. Just as you know that there is the screen behind whatever is happening in the movie. You are aware of that, and therefore even after you see a big fire going on, you do not take out your phone and dial 911. Why? If you see it actually happening, not in a movie, then immediately, oh my goodness, I have to call the firefighters right away. You call that. But here you don't call because you know that that is not real. So all objects are like that. They come, they go. None of them is real. So this is a matter of practice, training our awareness. And as it gets trained, we will be able to see, experience this truth more and more. Thank you. Any question? So, we shall conclude after we do the concluding prayer, and also let me tell you about some of the upcoming programs. That next Sunday, the May 28th, that is the last Sunday of this month. May 28th, the topic of discussion is probing dreams. Those who never get dreams, let them, they need not come for this lecture. So for others, yeah, it will be an excellent thing to probe the dreams. And then Tuesday, Friday classes at 7:30 p.m. Will go on as usual. The Tuesday topic is Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. On Friday, it is the stories from Srimad Bhagavatam. Our doors are open also for morning and evening meditations. So anybody who wants to join the meditation are welcome for that. And then another important announcement that on June 4th, this Sunday after that, first Sunday of the June, we shall be having an inauguration ceremony of the new shrine. You can see, you can go in and see, be careful, that's all, in this new shrine and meditation hall that will be inaugurated with a special worship on June 4th morning. The worship is going to begin at 8 a.m. It is a longish worship, so therefore we have to start it early. So you are all welcome to join. After that, there is during that and after that there will be some chanting and music, and there will be the distribution of the holy offered food to everyone after that. So you are all welcome to join that. The prayer. So recite loudly this wonderful prayer. We offer our salutations to the all-loving being who endows all beings with consciousness. We meditate on the Lord, who is the origin of the universe. Lord, thou abidest in all, thou art all, thou assumest all forms, thou art the origin and goal of all, thou art the self of all, thou art existence, knowledge and bliss. Salutations unto thee. You have chosen the wrong prayer. So this is actually the prayer that we recited in the beginning. But our Charlie, he, after listening to this lecture, beginning and end both, what is there? So it is, all forms are gone away. No, whosoever, yeah. Okay. It is. Yeah, please, put it there. May the Divine, who is Father in heaven of the Christians, Holy One of the Jewish faith, Allah of the Muslims, Buddha of the Buddhists, Tao of the Taoists, Great Spirit of the Native Americans, Ahur Mazda of the Zoroastrians, and Brahman of the Hindus, lead us from the unreal to the real, from darkness to light, from death to immortality. May the all-loving being manifest himself unto us and grant us abiding understanding and all-consuming divine love. Peace be unto all. Now there will be the arati in the shrine room out there. And then there will be soup supper. You are invited to join both of these. You can go in this temporary shrine. There the arati is going to be held there, and then there will be, you are all invited to join the soup supper after that. Thank you, friends.